Hey, what's up everybody? In this video, I'm going to show you how to get the gold pin in the Tsum adventure. All you need to do is just complete the 6th card, and actually you don't even need to complete it, you just need to get to the halfway point, and you'll be able to get the gold pin. You only need to complete the 6th card if you want to go for the platinum pin to get to the next card. And also, check out the description because I have put time codes in the description, or you can use the scroll bar to get to the section where you need help on. So check that out if you don't want to watch the entire video and just want to check out missions that you need help on. So let's get into it. The first mission is score 2,250,000 points in one play. I am using this month's Tsum. I am going to be using Brave Mickey for most of these missions. With this month's Tsum, you only need to get 1,500,000 points to clear this mission. Other Tsums that you could use that are pretty good, you could consider using Beast, Jedi Luke, Gaston, Bad Hat Mini, or even Dark Fairy Magnificent. I think all of these are a really good Tsum to use for high scoring points. The second mission is get a 13 plus chain. For this one, you don't need any boost or anything like that. What you want to do first is pick a Tsum that you want to clear for the chain and save those and clear everything else. In my case, I decided to choose Brave Mickey as my chain. So what I'm doing here is clearing everything else but Brave Mickey. And once I collect enough Brave Mickey, then connect the chain. Typically by around 30 seconds or so, you should have enough. Next, we have get a 120 combo in one play. I am going to be using Brave Mickey because Brave Mickey is a really good Tsum for this particular mission. Brave Mickey has a sword that drops down and clears all the Tsums, and that each Tsum that is in its pathway is considered one combo. So if you are using Brave Mickey for this one, consider using the sword ability. But if you don't have Brave Mickey, you could also consider using Donald, Holiday Donald, Goodnight Pooh, or Patch. All of those are really good Tsums that you can use for the combo missions. And if you have Brave Mickey, you only need to do 40 in order for you to clear this mission. Next, we have earn 1,500 coins in one play. I am going to be using Brave Mickey here. With this month's Tsum, you only need to get 1,000 coins. If you don't use Brave Mickey, consider using Jedi Luke, Gaston, and Bat Hat Mini. All three of these are actually going to be really good ones for the Tsum Adventure. Beast is also another good one. But if you are struggling with this one, consider using the 5-4 as well as the coin booster. Those will really help you get 1,500 coins to clear this mission. And if you are really struggling and can't get to it, you could use some rubies to make this mission even easier, and you'll only need to get 300 coins, which is really doable for any Tsum, even for a very beginner, that even if you just started playing, you should be able to do it. Alright, now getting into defeating these demons. Since these demons, you don't have a one play limit on it, meaning that you don't have to beat it in one play. You could play it as many times as you want. But to save you some time, what you should do is use any Tsum that creates magic bubbles, and then you want to save them. In my case, I am using Brave Mickey, and I am using the Magician's Staff, which generates bubbles. And it seems like these bubbles will fall right next to the demon as well. So if you have a Brave Mickey ability saved up, wait until a demon spawns, then activate the ability. That will tend to drop a magic bubble right next to the demon, like right here in this case right here. So you will just pop it and save those bubbles. As the demons fall down, you can pop those bubbles, and that way you don't need to always collect abilities to clear these demons. Next, we have clear 850 Rosy Cheek Tsum. I decided to use Brave Donald in this case because he has a rosy cheek and he's this month's Tsum, so the mission becomes a lot easier when you are using this month's Tsum. There are other Tsums you could use. Other people use like Cruise, but essentially anyone you could find you could use. And in this case, because it's not a one play mission, you just have to keep playing until you clear it. You definitely don't need to use the boost. I just used it because I wanted to save time. As long as you have the patience, you don't need to use any of the boost. And next we have clear 15 big Tsums. This is one of those missions where you don't have to get it done in one play. So you can use any Tsums you want. Over time you'll just get big Tsums. But for the sake of time, I am using Sully. You could also use Baymax. I will use Baymax on another one just to show you. So Sully and Baymax are two really good ones because their ability generates big bubbles. And yeah, Sully makes 4, depending on what skill level it is, but the good thing is it's always going to be Sully, whereas Baymax generates random ones. So you could easily chain Sully here and create many skill bubbles. I was able to get this done in one play, so a very handy Tsum to have if you need one to make big Tsums. Next, we have earn 600 XP in one play. So this one is a little bit trickier. But with this one's Tsum, you only need to earn 462 XP to pass the mission. I am going to be using Brave Mickey for this one because he has a really good ability for that. And in this mission, you want to use the shield ability where he clears the center of the screen and generates a lot of score. Other Tsums you could use, essentially your score is tied to your experience points, so any Tsum that gets you a high score will also work. So your traditional Jedi Luke, Gaston, Beast, and Bat Hat Mini, all of those are really good Tsums to use for these missions as well. Next, we have use 11 skills in one play with an eyebrow Tsum. I am going to be using Brave Mickey here. With any of the Tsums this month, you only need to use 8 skills in one play. Alternatively, you can also use Brave Donald. He also has an eyelash, or eyebrow I mean. But there are other Tsums you could use. But Brave Mickey and Brave Donald is going to be your go-to just because it's this month's Tsum. And they're a lot easier to clear the missions. You only need to get a total of 8 skills launched per game to clear this mission. And if you don't have this month's Tsum, maybe you'll have Jedi Luke or Moana. Both of those are also pretty good ones to use for this mission. Jasmine's also another good one. Pinocchio, if you picked up the selection box, those are also good ones you could use as well. And then we have our next defeat demon mission. This one requires 4,000 points. Again, you don't have to defeat it in one play, so you just gotta keep playing. I applied the same strategies as I did the first time around. I used the magician's staff and I created a bunch of magic bubbles. And I waited until a demon fell next to the magic bubble, and then I just started popping bubbles. So I don't pop all the bubbles immediately, and I save it until a demon is next to it. And next we have earn 2,100 coins in one play. With this month's Tsum, you only need to get 1,400 coins. So I'm going to be using Brave Mickey just because out of the three I like him the most and I find it that he's easiest to get coins for. So with that, you can use any of the Brave ones from this month and it'll be a lot easier. But honestly, 2,100 coins isn't that hard. So you can use any Tsum out there that's available to you. And with the coin booster, sometimes you just get lucky. And with the multiplier, you're going to go over that 2,000 limit anyway. So So next one is start 7 fever times in one play with a hat Tsum. Brave Mickey won't work for this one, so I ended up using Brave Goofy. And the strategy for this one is you want to, at the very beginning, play as fast as you can to get the first fever. Then you want to focus on clearing your Tsum, your MyTsums. In my case, it's going to be Brave Goofy. And what you want to do is wait until your fever's done, then activate the ability. So that way you save the charge. So right here, I am not using the ability just yet. I'm waiting for my fever bar to go down. Once it ends, that's when I will activate it right away. This will help generate the fever bar all the way up. And I repeat the process. I also don't pop the bubbles either, because I will use those to help me build up the fever bar. And that's a really good strategy if your skill bar is not fully charged. The skill bubbles around the screen will be used to help charge up the fever bar when you don't have your skill ability fully charged. And next we have pop 30 magic bubbles in one play, and Brave Mickey is going to be a really good one for this because Brave Mickey's magic staff ability will generate magic bubbles. So ultimately you just want to keep creating magic bubbles using the magic staff ability. And with this month's new Tsum, you only need to create 19 magic bubbles. If you don't have Brave Mickey, consider using some other ones that generate magic bubbles like Parade, Tinkerbell, Miss Bunny, Timothy, Spring Miss Bunny, Moana, Gaston. All of those are really good bubble generators for this mission. So consider using those if you don't have this month's Tsum. And next we have earn 1,200 coins in one play with a boy Tsum Tsum. This one shouldn't be too hard. I ended up using Brave Mickey, and with the 5-4 on and the coin boost on, it was pretty much a breeze, not too difficult. Other ones you could consider using is Jedi Luke, Gaston, and Beast. Those are also boy Tsums that are coin generators, so consider using those if you don't have this month's Tsum. But if you do have this month's Tsum, you only need to earn 800 coins with Brave Mickey, Brave Donald, or Brave Goofy, so all of those are really good ones to use. And that brings us to the next villain. So this one requires 6,000 points. It is a little bit more, but since it doesn't require you to do it in one play, you just have to play it often. So applying to the same strategy, just generate a bunch of magic bubbles and don't pop them unless they are next to the villain, and just keep playing until you finish it. It's tedious, but it's not difficult. And if you are playing just to get the gold pin, this is probably where you are going to end. If you could defeat this villain, which there isn't much to stop you, then you're going to get the gold pin. I think I went the long route to get the items, but you could go straight to this particular mission. And as long as you defeat this villain here, you're gonna get the gold pin. So if you are just trying to get the pins, or at least the gold pin, you can just head to the middle, down the middle aisle, and avoid the left and the right side, and you'll get the gold pin. However, if you are gonna be going for the platinum pin, you're gonna have to do all the missions anyway, so it doesn't matter which order you go in. This is a mission where it's not requiring one play. Use magic bubbles, pop them when they're next to the villain. That is the fastest way of doing it. And also, if you have this month's Tsum, every damage that you do will be multiplied by 2 at the end. So if you have 800 points at the end, it will be 1600. Alright, so we're going to continue here. So the next one is get a 15 plus chain. Just like the other ones, what you want to do is focus on one Tsum that you want to collect and avoid clearing those. So clear everything else but the Tsum that you want to make a chain for. In my case, I am trying to chain Brave Mickey, so I'm clearing everything else but Brave Mickey. And what I'm going to do is clear Brave Mickey all at once. I ended up using a boost here, but honestly, you don't need to. If you have some patience, you don't need to use any of the boosters. Alright, now I'm going back to do the rest of them. So this one is defeat the demon, which requires 3,400 points. Similar to the other ones, I continue to generate magic bubbles and pop them next to the villain. I just had a lot of luck with that. I think it's the easiest way, and I'm using also this month's Tsum, so all of the damage is multiplied by 2 at the very end. And next, we have get a 100 combo in one play. And this is a little misleading. It's actually, you could get more than 100. So if you get 101, 102, that's okay. So you don't have to be right exact at 100. So for this one, really just play as fast as you can and get as many combos as you possibly can. What you can do as well is, if you use this month's Tsum, the mission is a lot easier. So if you are using this month's Tsum, you only need to get a 72 combo. So once you have 72, you could stop if you're using Brave Mickey, Brave Goofy, or Brave Donald. If you are using Brave Mickey, consider using the sword ability, because every drop of the sword is considered one pop. So every time a sword drops, if you are at skill level 4, it's roughly about 20 if you have everything in the center. On to the next tedious task. So we have score 16,250 points with a Tsum that has a collar. So luckily, Brave Mickey does have a collar. So we're going to get the character bonus for these points. But it is pretty tedious. You will need to take a little bit of time to get them done. But luckily, this isn't one of those missions where you have to get them done in one play. Another good one to use for this mission is Gaston. If you don't want to use this month's Tsum, Gaston has a collar and he is also a high scoring Tsum, so Gaston's also another good one. Next, we have clear 3 big Tsum in one play. So this is a one play mission, so it is a little bit difficult if you don't have a Tsum that turns Tsums into big Tsums. So if you have Baymax or Sully, then they are perfect for this mission. Since I already demonstrated Sully in the previous video, I decided to use Baymax, but Sully is going to be the better of the two because Sully you could chain it, but like you see here, Baymax works just as well because it's only 3. And next, we have pop 17 magical bubbles in one play. So it is a little bit more difficult because it is in one play. But if you have Brave Mickey, it shouldn't be a problem because you have the ability to create magic bubbles and you get the month bonus, so not too hard there. But if you don't have Brave Mickey, there are other Tsums you could use. So Miss Bunny, Timothy, Spring Miss Bunny, these 3 are really good ones to generate magic bubbles. So consider using them as well because you should be able to get them done if you have the 5-4 on as well. So consider using them if you don't have Brave Mickey. So next we have pop 20 score bubbles with white eye Tsum. And I am going to be using this month's Tsum, which is Brave Goofy. His ability does create score bubbles if you have enough Tsums in the middle of the screen. But if you don't have Brave Goofy, that's okay. You could also use Max. Max, you should have Max. But if you don't have Max, Pluto and Goofy, just regular Goofy, not Brave Goofy, both of those are viable ones you could use as well. Those are in the happiness box, so you should have those. Mike is another good one that you could use to create score bubbles, and Cruz Ramirez. So these are all good ones to consider. If you don't have those ones, you might need to just play around with them to see which ones will generate score bubbles for you. And next we have another defeat demon mission. So similar to all the other ones, what you want to do is focus on making magic bubbles and popping them next to the demon as they fall down. And if they're not next to the magic bubble, you want to save them for when a demon is next to the magic bubble. And if you have Mickey, use the magic staff to create magic bubbles. Next, we have earned 450 XP in one play with a pointy hair Tsum. So the one I'm going to use is Brave Mickey, but you could also use Brave Donald. With these two, essentially this month's Tsum, you just need to earn 347 XP to pass this particular mission. But if you don't have these two Tsums, there are other Tsums that you can use. So Moana's another good one. Essentially, you want to just use another Tsum. That will get you a really high score. So those are going to be some good ones you could use. Max is also another good one that most people will have. So those are some 4 good ones. So hopefully you have Moana or Max. If you don't have this month's Tsum, that should help you get to the 450 XP. So next we have start 30 fever times. So this one is not done in one play, so you could do this as many times as you want and need to get to 30. But to speed things up, you could use Brave Mickey, Brave Donald, or any other Brave Tsums because you will get a multiplier at the very end. Or you could use Parade Mickey here, the one that I'm using, and also Parade Tinkerbell. These two Tsums will start a fever after you're already in fever time. So the strategy to using these two Tsums, Parade Mickey and also Parade Tinkerbell, is to use the ability while you're already in fever, so that way it counts towards the fever count. I did mess up towards the beginning of this mission here, so towards the end I started doing it right, and I will also show you how to use Parade Tinkerbell after this time runs up. It did take me 2 tries to get a total of 30. Actually 3 tries, not 2 times. I did fall a little short because I did mess up using Parade Tinkerbell as well. So my last mission is clear 130 MyTsums in one play. And if you are using this month's Tsum, you only need to clear 87 your Tsums that you're using. So if you are using Brave Mickey, use the shield ability. Shield ability will clear a majority of the Tsum, but honestly, the magic bubble also works pretty well for this particular mission. So either one works. If you don't have Brave Mickey, you could use any other Tsum that you feel that you can clear a bunch of. So that's pretty much it. After you clear it, you can move on to the platinum pin. So hopefully you found this video helpful. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. And as always, thank you so much for watching.